Well, as is presently constructed, I can't support it. So I think that I don't have enough information to feel good about where we're going. I think here's the things that I take away from this experience, or from this testimony, is that there are indeed places where in this city where dispensaries probably should be buffered against other kinds of sensitive receptors. I think there are, in fact, that the dispensaries need to be regulated in some fashion, the same way we regulate just about every other land use in this city. So those things have to happen, at the very least. And I think in conformance with state law, which is in conflict with federal law about this material in general, we have to be sort of extra careful about that piece of it in my mind. So I do believe there are receptors. Whether or not residential neighborhoods, what's the appropriate distance, I think that's probably an acceptable sensitive receptor. But I'd want to make absolutely certain that it wasn't so overly restrictive as to essentially become an outright ban. And I think that that's where the present ordinance is heading. And frankly, the voters of California have had their say about this. The state law has a particular attitude about it, whether you agree or don't agree with that vote or that way that law is in place. It is presently the law of the state of California. And I think it's up to us. And we have testimony from people here who rely on this, and I am convinced by that testimony that I think it's incumbent upon us to provide humane and safe treatment where possible, with trying to balance this against these issues about sensitive receptors and how that influences or impacts those things. So it's a very difficult balance. I don't envy the city council on this piece, frankly, but that's why they ran for the spot and raised all that money to do it. So I'm going to let them do it. But frankly, as motion is presently constructed, I really feel strongly that we need to have places where this can be put in a well-regulated fashion, and I don't feel that there's enough of it now in this present motion. Are there comments, or should we vote on where we stand? Okay, we're ready to vote then? Everybody in? Okay, so that motion is 3 in favor, 2 opposed. So the recommendation of the City Council will be as the motion was stated, with all the dialogue and recommendations that came with it. And so that's it for that item. And I guess I'll return all of you over to the City Council hearing when it's docketed to take your case to that one. So we're going to take a 5-minute break until we go to the next item.